Okay. Good morning, and thank you for stopping by. Just lurking. Sorry, I was working on some things in the background, and I forgot I had switched over to start streaming. Hello and welcome to Ready Sets Gaming. I am Ready Set for those of you that may be new to the channel. On my channel, I predominantly stream indie games with a dash of retro and a hint of AAA. This morning, we are going to play some mini Metro with some lo-fi beats. So this is a stream that if you are kind of just working in the background, you can have this kind of going as you work. But we are going to be playing mini Metro with lo-fi beats to kind of because I do love mini Metro, and I figured this would be a cool way to kind of just relax, because it's been, that must be new, because it's been kind of crazy. Thank you, I appreciate it. I am currently still trying to raise the money for rent. We are $100 from the $345, and again, I do want to take the time to thank everyone that has donated. I do appreciate it. Again, we're just trying to get the money for this upcoming week. I normally don't do morning streams. I typically stream at night, but due to the situation, I'm pretty much coming with all, every which way that I possibly can. Again, this is a chill stream, so you will be able to kind of just relax and kind of have it on in the background as I play the game. It's been a crazy morning. My son is actually home. He wasn't feeling well. He went to school. They sent him home because he wasn't feeling well. So that's going on at the same time. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this. So, I did turn back on the games on the card. So if you are interested to see what games I am playing this week, because I do typically stream Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, you can use !GOTC, and that's going to bring up all the games that I am playing for this week. As well as if you are interested in donating, let me check, because I did update this. It should have popped up. Okay. You can use !fundraiser, and that will give you the information to my Ko-fi link. I do take commissions, so if there is a game that you would like for me to play, you can visit my Ko-fi link as well and go through what my commissions are. And that's another way to donate as well, is by getting me to do commissions. But let's go ahead and do Warsaw. They added a lot of new maps in here since the last time I played, it looks like. Okay, so we're gonna do the Warsaw map. And then it looks like Tokyo is the other one. And then they have community maps, so that's pretty interesting to see too. But it's been a while since I last played this. I think the last time I played this was like 3 years ago. I do play on my phone, or my Switch rather, but it's been a while since I played on PC. Oh, doesn't look like it's capturing, so give me a second, let me fix this, because it looks like it's just like frozen. And that's no good. So, give me a second, because it should actually be like capturing. I don't see why it wouldn't capture. So, let's turn that off, right? Maybe turn on full screen and see if it captures full screen. If not, then I'll just do like a display capture. There we go. So now you guys should be able to see everything. Okay. So let's go back. And as I said before, I'm gonna do Warsaw. Because Warsaw is, I guess these are the 3 new maps they added. And then we may take a look at some of the community maps, so. But let's see. Like, I played a lot of this when it first came. Oh, you know what? Well, we're gonna go that way. I probably should have left off with the circle here. Okay, so it's definitely not any... No, I don't want to... Oh. Thinking we do that. Okay. Oh, and you know what? I forgot I have my... Nope, it's on vibrate. I was gonna say, make sure my phone is not going to be... Oh, look, it changed to a plus sign. Just wanted to make sure my phone wasn't going to be... Okay, so ideally, so far I kind of like this map because it doesn't have a lot of water. Let's see what we're working with. So down below we have 3 tunnels if it so choose to come to that, and we have 3 lines, but right now we're pretty good. I don't see the point of opening another line at the moment. So okay, now might be a good time. So what if we did an orange line to here and here? Sorry, my son is home and you know, talking, so because my son is home, I'm going to definitely keep this to a family friendly type stream. Okay, cool. So we want the locomotive. I think we build up on tunnels for now because I have a feeling it's gonna start hitting us over to the other side there, so I feel like this is not connected to that. Oh, but it was. It didn't look like it. I'm trying to see what's... If this hits anything, we might open up our 3rd line. But let's see. Right now, there's nobody at that stop, so... Because I kind of want to make this triangle here, which you're not able to see my, not able to see my cursor, so I may have to turn that on. Give me a second. But, so usually when I play, and see, that's why I was like, eventually it's gonna start going to the other side. So usually when I play mini metro, let's make this a longer line. I tried to come up with certain like hubs. So I usually pick one and then that becomes my hub. Like all the lines meet at this one particular hub. This is a very long line. I think, oh, do we have other locomotives? We do. I'm gonna have it go this way because that's a long line, so we're gonna throw the other one here. Okay, then we're gonna move this one here. And then I think we want to get 300 pedestrians on this particular line in order to open up the next map. So we get another locomotive. I could do another line and just keep it in reserve, or I can do a carriage. Let's do a line just to have it in reserve. Okay. I think let's take this line and kind of make it here. So, and thank you for that $20 donation. I do appreciate that. From Miguel. Thank you, Miguel, for that $20 donation. It is very much appreciated and means a lot to me. Hope you are enjoying the content as well as the morning stream, the morning vibes. I'm so used to having my VTuber up, so it's weird because I don't have my VTuber going this morning. Because again, we're trying to, kind of have a chill stream, so I didn't want to go too much into it. But again, I do appreciate the $20 donation. Okay, because we do have that extra line here. So while we're at it, because I was trying to figure out like what to do, and again, I do love doing these types of streams because they're really chill. Ideally, I would like to be able to stream more during the morning and do more streams like this. If that is something you all are interested in, and just kind of let me know, and we can make it happen. Okay, so we took a line the last time. Let's do an interchange for our next thing that we're gonna pick up. And the reason we're gonna do the interchange is because those do come in handy. So what the interchange does is when you have a lot of, I like to think of the little blots on here as passengers. And so for me, I'm gonna wait before I extend the railroad there. It looks like we have two over here. But I like to look at the little blots on here as passengers. And so, what I like is to, the interchange, when you get so many passengers on one of these stops, you can actually, I think we'll extend this one too. You can put the interchange there and it makes it so that more passengers can potentially be on this railroad or this train at this particular stop. I think I have like two tunnels left. So we might extend one of these lines, or I can go and do like this and bring in a whole new line, right? Let's do that. I think that might be good. Do that, and then that. Remember how I was like, hey, let's take the line so that we can kind of you know, I was like, hey, let's take the extra line just in case we need it, and bam, we needed it. So what we're gonna do, because we have orange, which is running, so I'm gonna extend this orange and pink line. Okay, so let's extend that, right? And then I do have another locomotive, so we're gonna drop it on this pink line. So now what's gonna happen is now we have two trains going across each other, so that should keep that from like, and then we just got another locomotive. Because it's starting to build across the water, like part of me wants to take the carriage because it looks like the orange line is starting to get packed, but we do have two trains on there, and I do have another train. So if push came to shove, I could throw another train on there. But I'm gonna take the tunnels because tunnels sometimes are really hard to come by. So we'll take the tunnels instead. Okay, so we're gonna so it's trying to make it seem like I was trying to set up another line. We don't have another line. So let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so the next time if we get a carriage, we'll take a carriage, and what the carriage does is elongates the train. So then instead of picking up just 6, it will pick up 12. So carriages are important, but okay, so remember, I know I'm jumping around a lot, but remember how I said, okay, like right here, well, you can't see it because I don't have the pointer on. Let me go and turn that on real quick so you guys can kind of see like what's going on. I'm hoping that will allow for you guys to see what's going on with the cursor, but it doesn't look like it's capturing. But like right here, there is a line that's becoming overwhelmed. So we're going to put our interchange there. And because this line is becoming overwhelmed, we're going to drop another train on this particular line. Let's take pink and put it there. And so now we can hold more passengers on that side. I'm gonna actually extend that line because that's gonna help. We're gonna put orange here and turquoise, I want to say that is there. So but just to clarify, okay, so now this, see how it just kind of slid through there? We don't want it to do that. We want it to actually connect. Because again, the more trains that you have hitting certain stops, the better. So you want to have it connect. So anytime you see, okay, we're going to take a carriage. So anytime you see like a line just going through, that means it's not connected to the stop. So I picked up a carriage. I'm going to drop it on my orange. And I think we already have... No, we do not. So on the turquoise train, we're going to drop another train there. Oh, we already had one. Okay, so the next carriage we get, it looks like turquoise line is like building up a lot. So the next carriage, if there's like, as long as it's not a tunnel, that they're offering, but the next carriage that we get, we will drop probably on the turquoise line because it seems to keep getting backed up. And so you kind of want to make sure that it's not going to get backed up. It looks like our orange line is top tier right now, so we're good on the orange line. Okay, I'm looking because it looks like a new... Okay, I don't want to pull... Okay, let's pull pink here. That orange line is... Okay, we're good. I was going to say, oh no. So we did hit the 600 passengers. We needed 300 to open up the next town. So we did actually do that. So that's good. We'll do that. Okay, so see now, if we can make it to Sunday, we'll be good. But it looks like our orange line is coming through. So it's gonna pick up what it can. So that crisis averted. So that worked out. Okay, so it looks like the orange. So we're getting another locomotive. I'm thinking we should take the carriage. I mean, because I hate when they put the carriage with the tunnels. Because I always take the tunnels because of all of the water, you know. I'm gonna take tunnels. I'm gonna go ahead and take tunnels. That seems ideal, so we will take the tunnels. And let's move the turquoise line here. Maybe move the lime here too. And okay, so now we're gonna be, I notice it's not giving me a lot of lines, which is, I kind of want to extend this here to kind of like give it more so that it kind of connects. And that might help with some of the issues. Now I have how many tunnels? I have 4 tunnels. So ideally what would be cool, we're gonna have to extend the orange line. If they offer us another line, then I can kind of weave a new transit line through it, and that might help. Because ideally what I tend to do, like again now where our orange is kind of full, but we do have the pink line that's coming through. So if we make it to Sunday in the game, okay, so that fixed itself. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to, hopefully we get another line so we can fix some of these. Yeah, because I would run a line from here to probably here, 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 here. I noticed the pink line does not hit our hub. So hopefully we get another line. Yes. So we're gonna go here, 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 and here. Okay. Drop that there. And then I think I have like another train, so I'm gonna drop it on the lilac if it'll let me. And then that's gonna run and capture all of those spots that we were kind of like hitting. Also maybe drop the lilac line to here. Oh no, we are not gonna make it. Do it that way. We are not gonna make it. Please make it. Please make it. We're not gonna make it. Wait. And once you put the interchange down, that's it. So that was pretty much, I think that's gonna kill that one. So now the cool thing about Mini Metro is that you can do creative mode and endless mode. Let's continue in endless mode and see if that kind of like so now we're getting more locomotives. We will take carriage, right? Looking for, let's put a carriage here. And then I'm thinking we're gonna drop another carriage on the orange line because that's our longest line. This is our new line, so let's drop that there. I'm also gonna take the green line there. So now in endless mode, it won't be like, hey, you lost the game or whatever. So it's kind of a cool way to kind of relax. I say we take another carriage. I'm looking to see because I thought we had. Let's do a carriage. Do I want to add another carriage to the orange line? Or maybe we do a carriage to this one. So that's going to pick up more. Some of the other lines look like they're slowing down, so that's fine. I'm looking to see, I don't see an additional train on the lime, so let's drop another train on the lime. And we're gonna have, because ideally I like to have my trains to go different routes. So we'll drop green here and purple. And you know what? We'll even add the orange line here because the orange line is our longest line, it looks like. So let's see what happens. And then do that. What if we kind of move this here just to see? So now our orange line is kind of long. I mean, our lime green line is kind of long. Let's drop another there. Let's see if that kind of cleans up a little bit. And again, we are, oh, I didn't see that this had popped up. And currently we are trying to raise money towards my week of rent. I need to update that because we did just get a dono. And so we are 120 out of 345. So let me update that. We are trying to make 345 by tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. So, like I said, I'm trying to do what I can on my end. Also, you may know my boyfriend, Dan Van Dam. He also does stream. And he also has been doing what he can on his end to try to help with the fundraising as well. So I'm gonna go this route. Then do that. We made it, yes. There we go. So that one's doing that. And then we'll have this one go this way. And I typically like Mini Metro because of the fact that it's really relaxing. So and then too, because I feel like it's a morning stream. And then like I said, my son is home. I tend to stream when my son's sleeping. But he's home at the moment because he wasn't feeling well. So I am doing this morning stream to, again, try to raise funds towards my, I don't know, are we going to need that? Let's take tunnels. To raise money towards rent. And I'm just trying to raise it for this upcoming week. It's due tomorrow for the next week. So I am doing a double stream today. Tonight, I'm going to be playing more of the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I started it last night. And we're going to be playing more of that this evening as well. And then, oh, no, leave it. Oh, man. And then, if everything goes well, tomorrow I'll be on with some indie games. And then Saturday, we're going to try to play The Sims. So that's kind of what's on the card. Again, if you are interested on what's on the card, you can use !GOTC, and that's going to bring up a list of all the games that I am playing for the week. Of course, it lists where you can get those games from, the platforms they're available on, and yeah, it lists the platforms that the games are going to be available on. And if they have a price, it does list the price. And if they're on sale, it lists the sales price. So I try to do majority of the legwork for you so that you don't have to be like, oh, let me, how can I find this game? It's all there in a document for you. I try to make it as simple as possible. We're going to move this here. Let's move that there. I really wish I could do something about this area here. Oh, look, my cursor popped up about this area here because that's driving me nuts. But oh, wow, it dropped all of them off. Okay. And then yesterday, yesterday was kind of crazy. It was a crazy day yesterday, because it ended up storming here yesterday. And it's funny because I was like, again, I live, in a hotel. For those of you who don't know, I've been homeless for the past year. So I'm trying to get back up on my feet. I was supposed to move to Massachusetts to be next to Dan, because I know some people are probably wondering, like, well, what happened with that? So what ended up happening was it was pretty expensive to move to Massachusetts. I didn't want to go from one situation, as they say, you don't want to jump. I'm sorry, I have a hard time with my memory and stuff. But as they say, you don't want to, hop out of, you don't want to be the grease hopping out of the pan into the fire or whatnot. And so I did apply for an apartment in Mass, but I hadn't heard anything. They just did like a lottery type thing for it. But to move there and to uproot, my son, myself, and my sister, because I stay with my sister and I do take care of her, to uproot all of us would have been a lot. And so ideally what the plan was to see if we got the apartment and then we were gonna move. Well, I didn't think it was good for us to move without having a stable place. Now, here where I currently stay, which is Michigan, paying for a hotel room per week is $385. If we would have went to Massachusetts and decided to stay in a hotel, until we got up on our feet, it would have been $700 for the week. And that's a pretty big jump from from $385 to like 700 and something dollars per week. So Dad and we talked and decided that it would be better if I just stayed in Michigan because of the cost of living in Massachusetts. So ideally, what I've been doing now is I've been looking for now an apartment here in Michigan. I just applied to one. It takes 1 to 2 days to see if we've been approved. So fingers crossed that we've been approved. And then if we have been approved, we would move into the apartment. And then Dan would come to visit to see how he may like it here. So that's kind of what's been like going on. Because like I said, I know some people would be like, well, weren't you supposed to be moving to, the New England area to, get help from Dan? And like I said, when we looked, and I was like, there's no way that I can do a $700 a week for a hotel. Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. I had even thought of possibly doing, again, I have like severe anxiety. And so even against my better judgment, I had thought about doing maybe an Airbnb until we could find a place. But even that was expensive. For like a month, they wanted almost $3,000 for like a month. And I'm like, that's pretty pricey. So that is why the move did not happen. So like I said, Dan and I talked, and he was like, maybe, you should look for an apartment there. And if you do get an apartment there, I'll come and visit you. And I said, okay, that's fine. It's been rough though. It's like Oh, we got an interchange. Like if I can go back to like when all of this started. So in 2019, so about, what's this, 2000, so about 5 years ago, I was staying with my dad, but he ended up passing in July of 2019. In fact, it was July the 19th that he had passed away. So I was living with my dad. I was helping him, taking care of him. And so my sister, not the one that I currently stay with, my other sister, just to give context, I am the youngest of 8. So my other sister, the one that's 3 years older than me, she, was like, hey, you could come stay with me and my boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend had talked it over. And so my son and I were staying with them. And then we stayed with them. Then COVID hit. So we were all living in their apartment. It was a 1-bedroom apartment. And we were staying with them. So last year, before last year had came, she and her boyfriend had decided they didn't want us to live with them anymore. And I get it. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. I get it. They want their shit. Their stuff, sorry. Excuse my language. They want their space. And I get it. So, she kept like, at first she wasn't trying to give us time to try to find somewhere to go. And she kept like, every month she just like, when are you leaving? So eventually the sister that I stay with now, which is my oldest sister, to put it into context, my oldest sister is 16 years older than me. And so she was going through her stuff, and she needed, a place to stay too. And so we came together and decided we would stay in, a hotel until we could get up on our feet. And it's just been pretty rough, especially because my sister, she is disabled. So I have to do a lot of the things for her. Like, I have to make sure she gets to like her doctor's appointments, things like that, set up. Now, she used to have transportation, but for some odd reason, it like stopped her transportation. So we have been having to pay out of pockets to get her back and forth to doctor's appointments and things like that. So she's due for a surgery on Monday. And so a lot of the money for this month was going towards getting her to her consultations, getting her to her doctor's appointments so that she can have the surgery. She's been waiting for this surgery for like 3 years. Wow, 3 years. My sister, the one that I take care of now, she has heart failure, so she's getting surgery done on her heart on Monday. And so, so it was really like crucial to make sure she makes it to her appointments. We still don't know why her insurance stopped her transportation, because it wasn't like her insurance like lapsed or anything. They just stopped doing transportation for her, which was kind of weird. So we're still trying to figure that whole bit out. But she has to have the surgery. So, and then came her her medication as well as my son's medication. So I was helping to pay for that. And, so it's been, like one heck of a month for this month. And so I'm not one that likes to ask for help. Mainly, I guess it may just be, I don't want to say that I am a proud person, but Dan would say it's because I'm a proud person. It's just sometimes it's hard to ask for help, because the first thing that comes to my mind, because again, I do have really bad anxiety, is that, people are going through their own things. And so I shouldn't,
a bird for peanuts.
Ask people when everybody's going through their things. But that's why I always say as well that, if you cannot donate, like it's not required for you to donate, I would never because there are some people out there who would try to guilt trip people into donating. I would never do that. So even if you can't donate, just sharing the stream and things like that does help out a lot. But okay, so that's all connected. So sorry I got distracted, but I did want to go ahead again and thank everyone that has been sharing the streams, that has donated. You all are wonderful. You're amazing. Exactly. I got 99 problems and money would solve like 97 of them. This is true. Okay, you can have a banana.
Now celebrate by turning you into a frog.
And so but yeah, so that's what's been going on for the last month or so. Because ideally I'm trying to make sure that we don't end up in like a shelter. It wouldn't, would not be ideal to be in a shelter. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of IRL friends, because I know some people are like, well, couldn't you just go stay with a friend? They, for me, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's really hard for me to make friends IRL. Like I mean, heck, I even struggle making friends online, because I'm not particularly good in social settings. Like, I'll be honest, like dating Dan has been better for me because it has kind of helped me come out of my shell a little bit. But between Dan and I, Dan is definitely, he will say he's an introvert, but he's an omnivert, because holy cow, he can just like melt into like any group. Whereas for me, it takes a while for me to open up. Because again, my anxiety, and I just don't do well in social settings. So it's rough, like, I mean, and Dan will say himself like that he struggles with social settings and stuff, but I don't see it because I can't tell, and it's one of the things that I do love and admire about Dan, besides his sick dance moves. It's one of the things that I do love and cherish about him, that you know, we complement each other so well. Like, I don't talk about Dan often because I'm a private person. Whereas Dan is, he will, he's quick to talk about me. And not in a bad way, It's always good things that he says. It's just really hard for me to express myself. And that's something that I'm working on. I would love to be able to express myself a little bit better, because Dan, you know, he's going through a lot himself. And the fact that after all of the stuff that I go through, he's still willing to stick it out with me and still love me. That means a lot. Um, so and then I'm very grateful for Dan. Dan and I, for some of you who don't know, because I don't know if we've ever really talked about like how Dan and I actually ended up together. Um, but so Dan and I actually have been together. We will have been together for almost 7 years in August. Ooh, when is our anniversary? And it's funny because it's usually the guys that forget, but I always forget. And so sometimes I have to trick Dan into telling me when our anniversary is. I want to say it's the 9th. I hope. I'm going to go with the 9th. Final answer. But Dan and I actually met like 7 years ago, and we were streaming on Twitch. That was before Twitch kind of became bogged down with all of its rules and stuff. So this is like, I don't want to say early days of Twitch because everyone knows that Twitch used to be Justin TV, and then it became Twitch. So I think this is why right after Twitch, Justin TV became Twitch. And like I said, I've always struggled in social settings and stuff, so I wanted to challenge myself into streaming. Now, I was already streaming on a different site. I think it was like Play Live or something like that. And I was streaming off of a MacBook Pro. Not a MacBook Pro, but a Mac Mini. Sorry, a Mac Mini. So a friend of mine's like, hey, you should try Twitch. I ended up, getting on Twitch. Now, I didn't stream on Twitch immediately. When I first started doing Twitch, I was a viewer, I was just watching. And then I was like, hey, maybe this is a way, because again, having a hard time connecting to people in real life, and then having a special needs child on top of that, it's really hard to meet people and make friends for me. So most of my friends were either co-workers at the time or things like that. So I was like, okay, I'll give Twitch a go. So I used to watch this other streamer named Sharpie Plays. I think now he just goes by Sharpie, but I used to watch Sharpie Plays. And he ended up raiding Dan. I want to say it might have been on Dan's birthday. And when we came in for the raid, Dan actually did the dance from Flashdance. He turned on the side. Again, this is before DMCA became a thing on Twitch and stuff like that. And so he turned on Maniac from the Flashdance movie. And he grabbed this hard hat and just started doing the dances. And at this time, I was in a good place because I was I had my own apartment. I was working for Apple UK. Yeah, this is why when I say that I love this man, I wholeheartedly love this man with all my heart. So he's doing the maniac dance, which now we joke and we say, "Oh, that was your mating dance. That was your mating call," and I answered. I was intrigued. I mean, let me tell you, I was like, "Wow, look at this! This is awesome." And like, what amazed me about it is like he just didn't care. Um, like I don't know if some of his older clips are up, but he also did a dance to "Single Ladies" from Beyonce because Dan didn't give a damn. And so I remember hanging out in his stream that night. I was like, oh, okay, he's pretty cool. Down to earth, he's pretty cool. That's funny. And so for a moment, I forgot that I had followed him. So, because I'm the type of person I used to just watch one particular streamer. So one day the streamer Sharpie was playing like a sports game, and the only sports games that I do tend to like is like wrestling. Um, so I was like, yeah, nope, I'm not watching this. I don't want to watch sports. And so Dan happened to be streaming, and he was playing Gabriel Knight 2, if I'm not mistaken. And it was at the end of it that he was playing, and I came in, he talked to me when I came in, and then he's like, well, I'm gonna switch over to Half-Life 2. And for some odd reason, Half-Life 2 just would not work. I like it works for him now, but back then it just was like, yeah, no, bro, we're not working today. And so during his stream, I was giving him like, troubleshooting tips. Like, well, did you try this? Did you try running in admin mode? Hey, did you try this? So he ends up ending stream because he couldn't get the game to work. And he was like, well, I've already streamed so much, because I think this is at the time he was streaming like maybe like 1 to 6 or something like that, because Dan's always had a interesting schedule with streaming. Like the only reason why now he streams, because he used to stream 3 to 6. The only reason he streams 6 to 9 now is because one summer it was getting really hot and I was concerned. And so I told him, I'm like, well, it's cooler at night. Maybe perhaps you should stream at night so you're not so hot. So that's why he does the 6 to 9 now. But he used to stream 3 to 6. And so, he ended stream, and I was just sitting there. I was watching another streamer, and he messaged me. He like whispered me. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought like, oh, here we go. He about to be weird. Because I had been getting these weird whispers from like guys on Twitch. And some of the whispers I would get, I would just kind of play along. I wouldn't let them see me get upset or be like, because sometimes they do it so then they can go share it with their chat. Like, look at this, she got upset, So I wouldn't fall into that. But it was what Dan texted me in that whisper, the very first whisper he had ever sent me, that made me realize, like, yeah, like, yeah, I really he was not weird, ironically. He texted me and he was like, hey, he was like, thank you for coming to my streams. I really appreciate you coming to my streams. Also, thank you for your help with trying to help me figure out, the issues for Half-Life 2. And so that took me by surprise, because I'm like, okay, wait a minute. That coming off as a weirdo? Like, wait, what? And I was like, oh, well, no problem. And instead of ending the conversation there, I was like, well, did you, we'll take tunnels. I was like, did you figure it out yet? And he's like, well, no. So somehow we just kind of started talking shop on how to fix Half-Life 2. And then we were talking. He's like, oh, so what other games do you play? Things like that. And so we were just talking, and it was such like it was such a breath of fresh air to talk to someone and them not try to be like sexual or creepy with it. Um, and then we were talking and stuff, and then he was like, "Hey, we started talking about Secret World Legends," and so we started talking about Secret World Legends, and I had told him I was always interested in playing, and so he's like, "Hey, I love that game," and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to play Secret World Legends together?" And at first I was nervous and I was like, well, no, because I just started talking to you. But then I was like, you know what, I'm going to go out here on a limb. Yeah, let's play Secret World Legends. I mean, I was playing other games with just randos. And at the time, Dan was kind of a random person to me. So it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's play Secret World Legends. That's fine. And so we ended up playing. Now, this is the second time I'm going to admit this because I always blame him. But there was an achievement we were trying to get, and I messed it up because I am not a stealthy person. I did not do this intentionally. It just happened. He was like, "Hey, wait right here. I'm going to go over here and, do the thing so you can get this achievement." And my stubborn behind was like, "No, you don't tell me what to do. I do what I want to do." So I caused the achievement. And I was like, "Oops, I'm sorry." So, I went to apologize. And he's like, "No, no, no, don't worry. We just won't get that achievement." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then from there, I think we ended up playing the game for like 3 or 4 hours. And then so I knew that I wanted to get to know Dan more. So, like, he was playing Destiny 2 when Destiny 2 came out. And I really, wanted to connect with him because I was like, okay, I really got to get to know him. Like, I'm really, I would say I was attracted to him, but I didn't know how attracted to him I was. Because I am the type of person that I fall for people's personalities and stuff. And so I wanted to get to know him more. So he was playing Destiny 2, which I suffer from motion sickness, so it's hard for me to play first person games. So to get to know Dan even more, I had never played Destiny at all. Like, the closest you would get me to playing a first person would have been Doom or Wolfenstein 3D, which I do need to play Wolfenstein 3D sometime this year because I usually play it once a year. So those are the closest you're getting me to FPSs. But I so badly wanted to get to know Dan that I literally went out and bought a copy of Destiny 2 just so I could play with him. I bought, not only did I get a copy of Destiny 2, but I had bought motion sickness bands to wear, which helped out with my motion sickness a lot. So I bought motion sickness bands in Destiny 2 just so I could play with Dan and get to know him even more. And so we were playing Destiny 2 with his friends, and an incident came up. I'm not going to get into the incident, but an incident came up. And immediately, Dan stood up for me. Like, immediately, like, he shut it down. And he stood up for me. And that was then that I knew, like, I have to be with this dude. Like, I mean, I did ask him if he was single, and he told me he was. And I knew then, after the incident that occurred, again, I won't go into details on that incident, but as soon as that incident happened and he stood up for me, and I mean, again, he doesn't know me from some random person on the street. And the fact that he stood up for me and defended me, that was when I was like, yeah, no, this is definitely, he's definitely husband material, and I have to be with him. And so, we started off as friends, and then eventually he asked me if I would be his girlfriend, and 7 years later we're still together. So that's the story of Dan and I. Long story short. Well, that was a pretty long story. But yeah, that's the story of Dan and I. So we've been together for 7 years. Well, it will be 7 years in August, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. Honestly, I would not. But yeah, so that is the story of Dan and I. That's how we met, and it's been a long 7 years, but almost, I keep saying 7 years because it will be seven this August. But yeah, let's not tell Dan that I again forgot our anniversary date. Um, because he would probably be like, really? Because he remembers. I want to say, right? I want to say it's the knife. So what I usually do to get him to tell me when our anniversary is, I'll be like, "You don't even know our anniversary date," and he'd be like, "Yes, I do. It's such and such." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool. Now I know." So I always kind of trick him into telling me when our anniversary is. Sometimes you got to be crafty. You gotta work. Work smarter, not harder. And because I used to have it in my calendar, but it's just not there anymore. I don't think it's there. I'm like, yeah, because I'll be like, so every once in a while, you might even see me typing in his stream like, you don't even know our anniversary, and that's because I don't know our anniversary because we've been together for so long, and my memory is just crappy now. Is the main problem. I have a really bad memory. Um, so I'm legitimately going through the if our anniversary is actually in my phone. Like, um, but again, we are currently doing a fundraiser. I am currently trying to raise funds for my upkeep for my room. We are $120 out of 345. If you are interested in donating, and you're loving the stories and things like that, you can use exclamation point fundraiser, or you can even use exclamation point Ko-fi. And that will bring up my Ko-fi link for you to donate. If you would like for me to do a commission for you, I do have commissions listed there as well. I do write articles as well as do gameplay on Twitch. I then upload those gameplays to YouTube. I do write articles for the dailygamepad.net, which is me and Dan's website. So I do write articles. And I also do shorts for YouTube as well as Twitter. So if you are looking to kind of get your game out there, you can check my commissions. I normally don't charge a fee for things like this, but due to my circumstances, I have to start charging. um, to mainly keep a roof over my head. So that's why I do charge now. Otherwise, when everything was stable and everything was going good, I did not charge for writing articles, because I always felt like if you provided the game, that was payment. But due to the circumstances now, I have to charge for my services. There's also some things that my sister knitted that's also on my Ko-fi. Um, it is getting to be that time where it's kind of like the weather is breaking. So, having a knitted hat and scarf and stuff may not be everybody's cup of tea. But there are things that she has knitted that has also been added to the Ko-fi shop as well. Um, but yeah. Yeah, my sister, she knits. And that's just some of the stuff that she has knitted. Um, she has in the past also knitted like baby blankets and stuff like that. But these were just things that she could do. It took her maybe 2 to 3 or 4 days just to knit these hats and things. So, um, but yeah. See, I kind of like these types of streams because I can play the game. Well, the game's playing itself now. I'll probably switch over to the next little town here in a second. But I like playing these types of games because then it allows for me to kind of like, once I'm done and it's like, hey, um, and it's kind of like, hey, go to endless mode. I kind of let the game run itself for a little bit and, kind of talk to you guys because sometimes, and it's something that I have to work on as a streamer that I know I need to work on it. But sometimes you know, I try to keep up with chat, but then I get distracted. So I'm not able to always um, answer questions in chat or read chat efficiently. So that's something that I'm working on as a streamer. I'm also working on trying to come out of my shell and meet other streamers, but it's so hard because, like, I'm not even gonna lie, a lot of the streamers now, because, like, I do love my indie games and I do love focusing on indie games, but it's like a lot of the streamers now that do play indie games, they're kind of young. And so when they start talking, I'm like, wait, what? What are you saying? So I get a little lost sometimes. Um, so it's kind of hard to find streamers that are a little more in my age group that are doing indie. Um, so that's been one of my biggest issues. I've started branching into doing retro games a bit. That's why Thursdays we play, I had to change my schedule. So Thursdays I usually do retro games. Um,
Well, the
and
Wi-Fi
then,
is bad today.
okay, let me see. Give me a second. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for a quick second is I am actually going to just mute my mic and let this keep running. But I am gonna go use the restroom. I didn't want to take a break and break up the music. But yeah, I will be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we will switch over to the next little town. So I will be back. Hey, you're gonna do it. Welcome on in, and thank you for that 3 stream streak. Um, so we're just kind of sitting here playing some mini Metro, for this morning stream that I am doing. Again, we are currently still trying to raise funds towards the rent for this week. Again, if you are interested in donating, you can use !fundraiser or Ko-fi, and that will bring up my Ko-fi link. Again, I do offer commissions as well if you want to get something out of it. I do have a commissions page, and it lists all of the commissions that I do. I do gameplay, I do YouTube shorts and Twitter posts. I used to do TikTok, and oh, let me tell you the TikTok story. But I used to do TikTok, but I don't do TikTok anymore. So I do YouTube shorts and Twitter, or X. I still call it Twitter. I do write articles for the dailygamepad.net. And then, like I said, I do gameplay, which with the gameplay is I play the game on stream, and then I upload the video to YouTube as well. So those commissions are available. Again, if you go through my Ko-fi link, you can see all of the commissions that I offer, and the prices that I do charge for it. But mainly because, oh, okay. Oh, okay. And because I'm like, I just can't get behind X. But let's go into the TikTok story. So I used to upload my shorts to TikTok, right? And I was doing really good on TikTok. Like, people, I was getting views on TikTok and everything. And so one day, it was like last year in December, TikTok is like one of the weirdest platforms ever. So I was trying to grow on TikTok, so right. So I was on TikTok and I was trying to you know, build up my audience over there. So I was uploading my shorts or my clips like every day almost. Because on those type of platforms, you kind of want to post every single day if you want to get, into the algorithm. So I go to post one day in December and it wouldn't post. And I'm like, what's going on? So I reach out to them and they straight just banned me. Like, I didn't receive any type of notification saying I was going to be banned, that I had broken any TOS, nothing. Like, it was just nothing. And so I'm like, wait a minute, like, now, if I had done something wrong, I could see them banning me. I wouldn't even be mad. I just wouldn't, because I'd be like, okay, I messed up. I take fault for that. So I reach out to them. I'm like, well, what happened? Like, what did I do? We have a lot of trains. I think we're going to start dropping trains on our lines here. And I'm like, so what did I do? Like, they, didn't even explain anything. They were just like, yeah, nah, you can't post anymore. So I tried to fight them for, being able to post. We'll drop a carriage here. Try to get some of these down. So they was just pretty much like, yeah, nah, you just can't, you can't post anymore. And it was like, well, what did I do? And I kept asking them, like, well, what did I do? Again, I don't mind if I am banned from a platform. I am okay with that as long as I know why I've been banned. Like, give me a reason to why you did this. And they wouldn't give me a reason. So they ended up, so I reached out to them and they were like, no, we're not going to reverse the ban. So that is why I am no longer on TikTok, because I felt that it was kind of crappy of them to ban me and not give me a valid reason. Like, again, if I had messed up, tell me I have messed up. Like, show me, like, this is where you messed up at. But I had received nothing that said, hey, you can't do this. People are complaining about this video. Nothing. I received nothing. And they just banned me. Like, I'm able to go on there to look at videos, but I cannot upload. And it's like, well, what the heck is the point of being on here as a content creator? No, it was nothing against TOS, because I even asked them. I said, well, what did I do wrong? I'm not mad that you banned me. I just want to know what I did wrong, because if it's justifiable, then I can't be mad. If I messed up, I messed up. I can't be mad on that. But they wouldn't give me anything. They were like, nope, we're just going to keep your account banned. And so I was like, okay. So now I don't go on TikTok at all. Because again, what is the point? If all I can do is watch videos, but as a content creator, I can't make... I didn't post enough conspiracy theory. Probably. Probably. But as a content creator, if I can't post my content so that others may be able to discover me, then what's the point, And I mean, I was getting views. Like, I was getting, maybe some of my videos on there had like thousands of views and stuff. And they were just like, nope. I don't know if maybe it was because the way that I was uploading the content, maybe they were like, hey, you shouldn't be uploading, content every single day. Maybe that could have been it. Or I'm wondering too if it was because I am a VTuber. And at the time, when I would upload my clips, I would just have my VTuber model on there to do the facial expressions, but I wasn't talking over the clips. So I'm wondering if they were like, oh, this must be a fake account, and that's why they banned me. But again, they gave me no explanation. They just was like, nope, you're banned. You're banned from uploading. And I'm like, okay. So I tried to fight it, and they were like, no, we're going to keep the ban. So I was like, okay, well, then I'm not going to use your platform. So that is why and Dan has told me, like, oh, well, you could go and make a new TikTok account and upload. But I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, I think that is against TOS. Like, if they have banned you, you can't just go make a new account, because then that would be against TOS. But it's ridiculous, because, like I said, my stuff was getting views on there. And it's funny because I don't use TikTok, but I will get notifications on my phone that I'm getting followers every day. And I'm like, it's very disheartening, because it's like, here are people looking at my videos, but I'm unable to provide any more content for them because I've been banned. So it hurts, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those it is what it is situations. So I think we should move on to the next town. Let's see. Like, what is this? Are they allowing for us to make gifts? Not, we can make gifts. Okay. That's pretty. So now we can actually make gifts on here, because I know many motorways. Oh, that's from the beginning. I like this one better. This one's better. I kind of want to download this, but I think it's going to tank my stream if I do it. Let me see. I'm going to go for it and see. It might not. Okay. So let's go back. We're going to go to the menu. Oh, this works out because there was an ad. Exit to the menu. And then we're going to do Lisbon, but I'm going to wait for those of you that are getting the ad break. And before I start up the next one. So, okay. So, welcome back, because I saw that there was an ad break. So, I switched over. We're going to do Lisbon. We ended up getting 1,100 on that one. So let's go ahead, because I don't like these being like that. So we need to get 400 in order to open Tokyo, which, if I'm not mistaken, Tokyo gives you the bullet trains. Because I know Osaka does, but I think Tokyo does too. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so let's do Lisbon. Hello, hun. Welcome to the stream. we're just kind of chilling and relaxing, playing some mini Metro, as I continue to raise funds. Um, so let's start up the next one. Exactly, and that's what it really came down to. Uh, that's probably it too. Like you said, Drake County do, because I'm like, yeah, they did not give me a reason for why I was banned. It was just, they was like, oh, well, we sent you. Like, no, you didn't. You didn't send me anything. I never received emails from you all saying, hey, you broke TOS, and that is why we banned you. Nothing. It was just like, oh, ban. Like, people were like, well, reach out to them, and when you reach out to them, be nice. And I was very courteous, and I was like, hey, I just want to know why I was banned, because I am a content creator, and as a content creator, using TikTok is a big thing. And they were like, nope, we're just gonna keep you banned, we're not gonna lift the ban. And I'm not gonna lie, so I got a little angry about it, because I was like, well, if I was posting ABC type of content, then maybe they wouldn't have banned me. And so it did hit my confidence a lot when they did that. I mean, because it's just been a lot of different changes. um Not even just with TikTok, Keymailer, which, like, I have done a lot of coverage for games for Keymailer, and then they jumped up and changed their grounds on how they provide codes to content creators. And I had covered over, it was like 2,000 and something games through Keymailer. And then all of a sudden they were like, no, if you don't have 10,000 views or whatever, and you're not a big time streamer, we're not going to give you codes anymore. And so the way that I was able to kind of get around that was because I had a TikTok. And so when TikTok banned me for no apparent reason, that killed me being able to get codes from Keymailer, to cover on stream and stuff. And it was just really rough. Because some of the things that I don't, there are things that, like, I think when it comes to coverage of games, that sometimes PR and developers sometimes may not get. It's like PR would be like, hey, we want these big time streamers to stream our game. And so you have to have 5,000 views and blah blah blah. And I get it, because you want to get your game in front of a lot of people. But I have seen where big time streamers will completely crap on a game that did not deserve to be crapped on, And so now you've had this big time streamer stream your game. Don't give it any love. So now all of these people, again, because big time streamers, I mean, anybody, in my opinion, can be an influencer, but they influence a lot, obviously, because they have a lot of views and stuff. So now this person says, hey, this game is trash. And they're streaming this to 10,000 viewers. Some people may be like, okay, this is just them doing it for like a hoo-hoo, I'm being edgy type thing. But you might get some of them like, yeah, this game is trash, where they have been influenced to think the game is trash. And now your game's not, getting picked up, And then another thing that I have been seeing, and this is, probably so, and this is just what I have seen on Twitter that has really broken my heart a lot recently, is indie developers now coming after each other. Like, if an indie developer's game doesn't do well, and I've seen this a lot lately. I don't know if it's just the newer indie developers that are doing this or what's going on, but I've seen this a lot lately where, like, a lot of indie developers are coming after each other, and it blows my mind. Like, I have the amount of posts I have seen about indie developers getting mad at other indie developers because they decide to offer their game for free is ridiculous. They'll be like, well, free to play games should have their own tab and they shouldn't be allowed to be in the tab with the paying games because, of course, people are going to play the games for free. I'm like, you know, that's not fair to them because, I mean, yeah, just because they offered their game for free, and like, because what a lot of these indie developers don't realize, or some of them don't care to even look at, is that some of these games are developed by students. And now I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but from my understanding, if you are a student at a college and you produce a game, you can't charge for that game. You know what I'm saying? Because, you can't charge for it. So they have to make it free to play. And again, not a popular opinion by some, but a lot of these free to play games that have been coming out have been a lot better than these games that indie developers are asking you to pay for. Now I'm not saying that's all the games that's coming out that are you have to pay for them, but some of them, like I played Decarbonize, which is a card game. Fantastic free to play game. Love it. There is another game that I was gonna play tonight, but I switched it out for a different game, and it's called Onareem, and it's like a solitary type card game. Wonderful game. It's free to play, and of course you can purchase a DLC, to try to support the developer and stuff like that. And what I think with some of these developers is that they are forgetting what I feel that indie stood for. Like, indie was supposed to be the answer to like AAA games and things like that. So, it was supposed to be for gamers who were on a budget, is how I looked at indie games. And, like prime example, because a lot of people keep thinking that Harvest Moon is a copy of Stardew Valley. No, Stardew Valley is legitimately the budget-friendly version of it's like the budget version of Harvest Moon or Story of Seasons now. The developer of that game has even said that they took inspiration from Harvest Moon and stuff. And that's what I was going to say. I don't think as a student creating a game, you can charge for it, So, but you will get developers that will like really, like try to tear each other down, and it's saddening. It's like you should be trying to uplift each other instead of tear each other down. Like, holy cow, the post I have seen where developers will be like, oh, right, and I can imagine that. Right, like they get mad and like, and oh my goodness, don't let one game be doing fantastic and their game's doing bad, because they will bring it up every 5 minutes, and I mean literally every 5 minutes. Like prime example, there was the uproar. Okay, we need to drop other things on here. there was that instance where EA released a bunch of their older games onto Steam, and the indie developers just went ballistic. Like, how could they do this? And I'm like, technically, Steam, and again, I don't 100% know, so again, don't quote me on this. But I don't think that Steam necessarily has to disclose when other publishers are doing certain things and stuff like that. Oh no, interchange. I don't think they have to disclose that. But there was a lot of developers that were mad, like, oh, EA dropped all of these games. And because they dropped all of these games, my game didn't get discovered. Or, and this is a big or, you didn't do enough to promote your game. And that's why nobody knew it was coming out. You can't, if you're not going to put in the work or the time, you can't blame anybody else. You only have yourself to blame at that point. You have to put, you know, you have to put in that time and effort. Like some of the games like that were coming out, they were just really mad that EA had did this, and I'm like, you know, it would, even if it would have been a different day that EA did this, you were still gonna have people that, you can't please everybody. You were still gonna have people that were gonna get mad about this. And it's sad, like, because you will get some indie game developers that be like, nobody's playing my game. Well, did you, try to market? I'm not saying you have to go out and pay a PR company to do your marketing. I mean, reach out, reach out to streamers and stuff and say, hey, would you play my game? And I'm not saying just always just big time streamers, because one of the things too that's disheartening for me as well is seeing developers. Like, I will play a game for a developer, and I am a small time streamer, obviously, and I will play a game for a developer. And it used to be back in the day when I first started covering indie games, developers would come in and just kind of hang out, talk about their game, things like that. I will stream their game, post the content that I did stream their game. I don't get a thank you for playing my game. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Because when I play my games, or when I play the games, I give, constructive criticism. I've never once come out and said this game is bad. I will say what I didn't like about the game, and what might be better. So we hit the 400 in this particular thing, so we'll have Tokyo open now. I have never once crapped on a game. I always give constructive criticism, because you can't just be like, this game is bad. Well, why? Like, why is this game bad? Like, if you're not gonna say why the game is bad, you're not helping. You're not helping the developer by saying, well, this is a terrible game. What makes it bad? Oh, maybe I don't like the controls, or maybe the controls are stiff. Exactly. um right. Russian spammers, right? Wow, that's sad. And then you know because the one thing I can't stand is when a person be like, well, I don't like this game. Well, why? Give me a reason to why you don't like the game. Now, if you say, well, this is not the, like, if I, even for myself, like, if I play a game, okay, and that's what I say, like, but you'll get developers, they'll be like, nobody's playing my game. Again, you don't have to spend money on necessarily marketing. Reach out to small time streamers, reach out to those that are going to be passionate about what they do. Because again, sometimes I do feel like some big time streamers will get an indie game just to crap on it, just because they're doing it for it. And I'm not saying all big time streamers, I'm just saying some will do it just to crap on the indie game just because they think, you know, it's funny. But a lot of those streamers that do that don't realize that by doing that, you're hurting that game. Because it could be just because it's not your cup of tea doesn't mean it's not this person's cup of tea. So, that was the one thing that drives me crazy. And then another thing, too, on, again, I don't know if anybody's gonna watch the VOD for later, but this is just one of my things as an indie streamer. If you're going to do, like Steam or itch.io, well, itch.io, or some people pronounce it itch.io. I refuse to call it that, itch.io. Some people, oh, I didn't realize I had another line. Let's do this. Boop, boop, boop. Will not put their content, will not put their contact information. Exactly. And there's a lot of indie developers when they do Steam or itch.io. Well, I can't, like I said, on itch.io, I can't say that because I usually always see their contact information on itch.io. But for Steam, it is very crucial and important to put, if you have a Twitter or a YouTube page, it is very crucial to add that stuff to your page. Oh, okay, cool. Was that the llama game? Because I remember you had the llama game. Is that the game that hit the 1,000? All right, Drake kind of dude, no worries. Thank you for hanging out and enjoy your lurks. Oh, okay. Okay, so CPR. Because I'm like, and a lot of developers won't do that. So, when I go to upload my videos on, or my shorts or my Twitter post, and I will do a clip of the game, I have to 9 times out of 10 open up a second Twitter page just to type in the developer's name or the publisher's name. And it would be, and I know that Steam offers it. I didn't see that was messed up, but that's fine. We'll continue in endless mode because I'm kind of talking a lot, so I didn't catch that. But I will see a lot of developers will not put in their Twitter page handles and things like that unless you're on itch.io, which they do it on there. And so covering games that are available on Steam can become, a task. Because when I do my posts for Twitter, I will put on there usually it'll be moments in gaming. And then it'll be the name of the game, developed by whoever the developer is, published by whoever the publisher is. Okay. And then I will put in, the VOD to this video is here for YouTube. And then I will put the Steam link, and then I'll tag what platforms it's available on and things like that. And it takes me so long to upload posts to Twitter because it takes me so long to upload them because I do have to look for to see if the developer has a handle on Twitter, to see if the publisher has a handle on Twitter. And a lot of the indie games are developed and published by the developer, but it takes me maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then there's the ones where it will pop up with the name of the developer. um, but then I have to go and check to make sure that this is actually accurate. So it's it's a lot, because and it would just make creating content a little more easier, because I do like to tag the developers, and I do like tagging the publishers, because then it allows for people, like, if I do a clip for a demo and say the viewer likes the game, they may want to go and follow that developer to keep up with the updates on that game. But if you're not providing that information, it does make it a lot harder to get your stuff out there. And that's just some of my things that I kind of wish would kind of work out. Like, because like I said, I do what I do because I loved doing what I do. Oh, we got to fix this orange because it's not connected. um we don't have a hub, though we do have a hub there. And because some developers think, believe it or not, because not all developers are streamers and things like that. And so some developers think all it takes for you to stream or make content is you just turn on the camera or whatever and you just go. And it's like, no, it's a lot that comes into creating content. It's not a just, hey, I turned on the camera and I'm streaming your game. Like, prime example, for me alone, I do, the games of the week thing, because I don't, or the games on the card is what I call it now. And I do a Google Doc. It's a lot of work. So for developers that don't stream, they don't understand that. Developers that do stream, they get it. Like, yeah, it's a lot of work to stream. It's not just turn on your camera and go for it, or turn on your game or whatever you're doing and go for it. Like, no. Like, for myself, it takes me, first I have to decide what games I'm playing for the week. And since now that I do retro on Thursdays, indie on Fridays, and then I usually just play The Sims because that's like my joke around day on Saturdays. The fact that I do that, I have, I make a document of all of these games. So that takes time, because it used to take me longer, but I had to cut it down. Because for those of you who have been watching me for years, because I have been streaming since 2016 or 17. And so those of you who have been watching me for years, when I first started, I didn't do all of this. But when I got into indie games, I really wanted to make sure everybody had all the information for the indie games. So when I switched over to Ready Sets, I am Ready Sets Gaming. When I was Ready Set Indie Games, so those of you who have been there since Ready Set Indie Games, you know that my list used to legitimately list, it is on PlayStation, it is on Xbox, it's on Nintendo, it's on Steam, it's on GOG, it's on Humble. Like, I would literally list everywhere it was on. And so to do that, it would take me like an hour to an hour and a half, and it would give you every single platform it was available on. And so, because now I only stream from PC, I am the artist formerly known as Indie. You silly. But, so it would take me like an hour and a half, sometime up to 2 hours to get all of this information, to put in this document so that people could because you would get a lot of console players like, well, is this on console? And it would take me a lot of time to like set all of this up. But since, my situation and now all I have is the laptop, like when I cover Nintendo Switch games, because I have a Nintendo Switch Lite, I do cover those as articles only because you can't stream a Nintendo Switch Lite, so I cover those strictly through. Right, no, it's never on console. Buy a real computer. Join the computer, the PC master race. Dang it. But that's the only console that I currently have is a Nintendo Switch Lite because of my situation. So I only have that. Right. Um but um most of my games are on PC, so I just tend to list the PC things only now. Um, you know, but even just listing just PC, it still takes me about an hour just to do that because of the way that I do it. I get a thumbnail of the picture of the game. I get a description of the game so you can read the description and then the link to get to the game, because because at first I didn't add the descriptions. Um, to get 60 frames per second and boom, console and a PC all in one. And so that's one of my things. I do that, and then when I decide to change up my VTuber model, because ADHD, every so often I'll be like, well, I'm going to change up my model to look like a certain model or dress a certain way and things like that. Like when it was cold or the winter months, my VTuber model was wearing a sweater and stuff, to kind of correlate to its winter. And I do stuff like that. That takes time. When I do get game requests, you know, um, when I get game requests, because you have to follow embargo, of course, and so I have to go through there and make sure I'm not breaking embargo because you don't want to upset like the publisher or the developer by breaking embargo. So all of that comes into play. And, like some developers will be like, hey, you said you were going to play my game. Like, well, yes, I am going to play your game. But if there was a game before you, I'm not going to put that game on the back burner to play your game first. Like, it's kind of like a first come, first serve type situation. So it's a lot that goes into it when it comes to streaming. And sometimes I think developers don't get that. And I don't think sometimes publishers even understand that sometimes. It's just play our game, and and then especially the way that I do it, which when it comes to indie games, I do a showcase. Like now my retro games have been just one game. Obviously Saturdays I play The Sims, but when I do my indie game, I do a showcase. And so the way that I particularly like to do it, I usually play no less than 15 minutes of the game. That's usually my minimum, but I try not to go so far into it because, again, and maybe I'm thinking wrong, but I always felt that if you actually play the entire game on stream or you do a let's play of the game, then what is the point of the person that's watching it to go and buy it? They won't have to buy it if they've seen the entire game. So ideally, what I like to do is play, so much of it to give people a taste of the game. So if they like it, then that, should influence them to go and pick up the game themselves. And due to my situation, I do play a lot of the free to play games, you know, and, huh? Hold on. Sorry, my son was asking me about Pac-Man for a minute, and I was like, huh? So I was like, wait, what's confusing? Like, it sounds like the music from Pac-Man. Wop wop. I was like, okay. Um, but but yeah, so that's like I said, I kind of like doing these types of streams because I kind of get to talk a little bit about because I don't, when I'm streaming at night, sometimes I'm just so tired and I forget. So I like these types of streams because I can kind of just chill and talk for a bit. Um, but yeah, um, but yeah, like I was saying, it's just, I just kind of wish that developers, or specifically indie developers, just realize that, you know, it would be nice as a small streamer for you to come out and hang out in my stream to explain your game to my community. I know I stream late at night, so that might not be accessible for all developers, and I get that. So I don't get mad, but it would be nice if I tag you in a Twitter post and tell you I've played my game, that you do check out the play that I did play, you know, and that you thank your streamers for covering your game, because it's a lot of work as a streamer, and I just sometimes don't think some indie developers get that. Like, yes, you want to try to get your game out in front of as many people as possible, but don't sleep on small time streamers, because to me, I feel like small time streamers are going to give you a better view about your game than the big time streamers, because most of them, like I said, take indie games just to crap on them. Won't say why they don't like them, and secretly might actually love the game, but because they feel like if I say I hate it, this is going to get me more views, and it's crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, pretty much. It like I said, this all stemmed from me talking about how it breaks my heart that a lot of indie developers are just like, nowadays they, you know, don't try to lift each other up. They just get angry, and it's sad. And I mean, for a moment there, I almost wanted to give up on playing indie games because of the way the community is starting to become. And I'm like, but I do love my indie games, and I can't let a few bad apples spoil the bunch. But yeah, like, and that's another thing. It's like some indie developers will see that a game is doing well, and then will get mad because this game did well, but the game that they created, which is similar to this game, and if their game doesn't do well as the game that they try to emulate, they get mad. And it's very weird to me. Yeah, a lot of them have now. Like I said, it breaks my heart. It does, because it's like, I love. Don't get me wrong. I still love indie games. Indie games is still a big part of my content, but I did learn that I do have to start branching off from indie games, because a lot of them are just a lot of the developers are just bitter now. And I'm like, dude, like when I first started covering indie games, they were not this bitter. It's like and I could be wrong. Again, this is just my opinion. But it seems like back in the day, the indie developers back in the day were just excited for you to play their games. It wasn't more so. And I'm like, you know, yeah. And then a lot of them are just more so like you'll get some indie developers are getting mad because other indie developers are getting um okay, because you get some indie developers who are mad if another indie developer takes money from a publisher now, and I'm like, wait, what? Like, I mean, yeah, because like they just had the triple I showcase the other day, and it had games like Slay the Spire on there. So I don't know if that's like the indie companies trying to take it back. Yeah, but there's a lot of developers getting mad about it now. They're like, "Oh, you shouldn't take money from you shouldn't be taking money from a publisher." And I'm like, "But okay, that was just publishers." Cuz I'm like, I get it. And oh, you should do Kickstarters and stuff and things like that. Ah, okay. And I'm like, it's just, a lot of indie developers lately have just been angry. And I'm like, whoa. Long story short, a lot of them has just been angry. Okay, I get what you're saying. When you use that analogy, I totally understand exactly what you're saying. It's the whole, like you said, garage band versus, those that have been signed and stuff. So I get what you're saying. But again, tonight, I will be back on later on this evening while we are talking. I'm going to be back on tonight with some more of Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I did just upload the four parts from last night. So if you didn't miss last night's kind of surprise stream, because again, I don't stream Wednesdays. I'm just doing it for this week to try to raise the money for rent for next week. But I will be back on this evening at 9 p.m. trying to raise more money towards my rent that's due. We are going to be playing more Oblivion. Like I said, this stream has kind of been chill and mellow because it is a morning stream. So at night, I tend to let loose a little more, especially since I've been playing Oblivion, which is a really good game. Like I played it originally on PS3, but didn't get that far in it. So I'm really kind of enjoying my PC run of it. Like I got really into it last night. So, um, but that is what we're going to be playing tonight. Now, if I come up with the money for rent, we will be streaming tomorrow night. Um, so, oh, okay. Shun steamed and then fixed it. um, oh wow, that's messed up. So why did they ever say like why they wouldn't convert it and pay it out? Cause that's crazy. Like they can't hold your money like that, can they? I mean, I don't think they can. Pretty sure that's illegal. To be fair,
Bringing my dinosaurs.
I really have a taste for pizza. I do, but no. Right now we are. Oh, that's crazy. Like, come on now. Like, come on, Steam. Do better. Um, but that's crazy. Like, come on, Steam. Do better. Like, you shouldn't be holding people's money. That's ridiculous. Do better. And then oh wow. I can see why now you do now I see why you like strictly do itch.io. Let's say we let's say we go ahead and do the Tokyo map real quick, and then once Tokyo is done, then we will wrap up this morning stream. Right. And then don't forget too, Itch does those days, where they do like the developer days, where I think that's what they call it. Where they give the developers like 100% of the proceeds, like they don't take anything. So, oh man. Yep, so we do get a bullet train in this one. So yeah, the bundles are really good. Do that because I have a lot of the bundles, and I need to start going through playing them, because one idea that I'm having now that I'm not like getting a lot of games to cover is I'm actually considering going through my backlog of games and actually just playing those out and kind of like trying to finish those out now. Mainly because I feel that like I have games that I played back in like 2017 that were really good games that I didn't get a chance to finish. It's been very seldom that I have finished some games on stream. So I'm trying to get into trying to finish games on stream. If I really like them, is so like currently I've been playing Torn Away, which is a really good game. So I've been playing that every week to try to finish that one up. But that was a commissioned game. Like that wasn't a game that was given to me. That was a commissioned game where the person provided the money for the game, and then I played it. And I was only supposed to play it for one stream, but I fell so in love with that game that I am trying to actually complete the entire game now. Um, and so like like I said, just trying out new things here and there. Okay, we really need to. What if we did this? Do that maybe. Biscuit. Well, we are not gonna make it. Okay. Take the tunnels. Oh, we are not gonna make it, are we? Maybe go this route. And then we have a bullet train that we could do. If I do this, that's gonna make it the bullet train, which should ideally move faster. And then we'll do that. But yeah, I bought a lot of the bundles from not Humble Bundle, but them too. But I bought a lot of the bundles from itch.io that I need to kind of go back and just play and just play them. And then that's another thing, like as a streamer, sometimes it's hard to like break out of, hey, I'm playing this game. I want to play this game for myself. Like I think the only game that I do play for myself that I don't stream is Enshrouded with Dan. I think I've been on his stream, but I have not personally streamed like Enshrouded. Um, but sometimes it's just nice to. It's so hard because, like I said, when you're a content creator, you'll be like, oh, I like this game, I want to share it with everybody else. Like I played the demo for I'm gonna take this here. Then maybe here. Um like I played the demos for Donald's Tale, which is really good. If you have not checked out the video for that, that one's available on my YouTube. I did not play it on stream. You can watch it here on Twitch as well, because I do upload the videos to Twitch too now. I used to didn't, but now I do. Because that holds them in place better than the VODs does. But Donald's Tale is really good. Like if you like games like Yoshi's Island or Super Mario, because consider that Super Mario World 2 is Yoshi's Island. If you like games like that, you would love Donald's Tale. And then I played What the Cars demo, which I didn't play those on stream. They're just VODs. So you can check those out. They're on my YouTube and they are uploaded to Twitch as well.